Hello students, welcome you all back. So, yesterday we have seen that what are all things we have discussed in the first lesson. The lesson is from 8th standard chemistry, that is also known as science, and the unit name is measurement, right? So, here the measurement which we are going to take is the second part of this lesson. Now, let's go to this lesson. So, students, in this second session we are going to see what are clocks, okay? So, first let's see what are the types of clocks. So, there are two main types of clock. One is analog clock and another is digital clock. So, in the analog clock, here you can see all the digitals, right? It's 1, 2, 12. So, this is known as an analog clock. Same way, here you can see a digital clock. So, digital clock will always tell you the accurate time, okay? It will tell you even about the milliseconds. Now, let's see them. And here you can see that in details of analog clock that it is having a second hand. Second hands will be very thin and it will be longer. Our hand, see here children, it is very short. Same way, minute hand will be little thicker and little longer. Same way, when you are coming to digital clocks, where you can see those digital clocks children? Yeah, you are right. Digital clocks you can see in railway stations, because in railway station the time at which the train comes or goes, it's very accurate, right? So, for that we need the accurate timing, that is why we are using there as digital clocks. So, other than these two types of clocks, there are two more different types of clocks. So, these clocks are different according to their mechanism. Mechanism means it is a way of showing or way of working. So, now let's come to the quartz clock first. So, here if you are seeing in this diagram, it will look like same as a analog clock, but there is a difference in quartz clock. Why it's known as quartz? Because it is made up of a stone which is known as quartz, and it will give accuracy as very good accuracy. Same way, atomic clocks. Atomic clocks will be a clock which will give you a very precise, that is even the milliseconds variation it will tell, okay. Now, let's see the difference between these two types of clocks. Now, let's see the quartz clock first. So, in the quartz clock, the time, that is here the crystal which is quartz, how it is vibrating, that is the electronic vibration, here it will tell what is the time. Same way, in atomic clock there will be a periodic vibration. Periodic means if it is going in 1 second up, the same second it will come down. It is a normal period. Same way, here I said it's a electronic. Same way, now let's come to the second point. In the second point, the frequency of a vibrating crystal is very precise. Here, the crystal is quartz. So, when this quartz is vibrating, it will vibrate in a particular way. Here, the way will not get changed. That is, if it is vibrating like this, it will keep on vibrating like this. It is not like it will vibrate first like this, then it will go slow, okay? It will be in one way. Now, let's see the third point. So, third point is a very important point. Clock of quartz will have the accuracy of 1 second in every seconds, that is 10 power 9 seconds. If you are comparing the normal clock and the quartz clock, there if it is 1 second and the quartz clock is 1 second, after 9 seconds again this two timing will be similar, that is it is that much precise. Same way, when you are taking the atomic clock, that time the precision, the accuracy, the correctness will increase, that is you are starting the normal clock and the atomic clock. Now, this atomic clock starting the time is same. Now, when it gets started after 13 seconds, both the clocks will again have a same timing. Here you cannot say that it is a accuracy or it is not an accurate point, right? Now, let's see in the second figure. Here you can see Greenwich Mean Time. So, Greenwich Mean Time is having a particular clock. According to that clock only, all over the world the time is being fixed. So, that is known as a fixed clock. It's also known as Royal Observatory Greenwich. Greenwich is a place, okay children. Now, GMT, what is GMT? It is Greenwich Mean Time. It is the solar time which is kept located in the Greenwich. Greenwich is the place name in London, and it is having a longitude of 0 degree. So children, you know that this is example, this is a globe, okay. Now when there is a globe, there will be many degrees, like how it is getting divided, right. At the 0 point, at the 0 degree, that place is being kept the watch, and the earth is divided into 24 zonal times. That is, here in world you can see that suppose in India right now it is 10 o'clock, then in abroad, like for example New York or any other place, the time will vary, right, and it is placed at different 15-degree longitudes. Now in this diagram you see, for example in India it is 8 o'clock, for example in India it is 8 o'clock, then you will see that here Calgary, what is this? Here in Italy it will be 11 o'clock. So that is the time variation. Even here in Paris, if you are seeing and comparing it with the India, Paris will have 7 and India will have 8. So there is a delay of 1 hour. Same way they are divided into 15 different timings. Now see children, Indian Standard Time. So how you can tell in India what is the particular time? So here in this India map, you can see that there are 2 meridians. Here one is the longitude and latitude, right. So what is this? This is a longitude and this one is latitude. At which point they are meeting, the place name is Mirzapur. Mirzapur is located in Uttar Pradesh. So there is one clock which will tell you the time, and that same time will be followed by all over the India, because it is kept in the degree of 82.5 degree east. What was the Greenwich children? Greenwich was 0 degree, right. So that is a important thing in this. Now let us see what is accuracy in measurements. So when you are going to a place, you want how much amount you are taking. Like for example, you are taking 1 kg of rice, you need the correct 1 kg. If you are getting extra, it's fine. But if you are getting 100 or 10 grams also less, you will fight with that people, right. So that is why we need accuracy in this. So what is the accuracy? The value of every measurement contains some uncertainty. Uncertainty means if I need 1 kg, it can be little bit more than 1 kg or it will be little less than 1 kg. So that is known as uncertainty. So that uncertainty is known as error, because here the amount is not accurate, it is not fixed. That is why it is known as error, and error is defined as the difference between the real value and the observed value. So here real value I will take it as 1 kg and observed value can be 1 kg point 100 grams, right. It can be 100 grams or it can be 900 grams, which is not accurately 1 kg. So children, see in this figure. So in this figure you can see a darts, right. So these are known as darts. So when they are pointing it, here you can see that all the darts at a correct point. So you will call it as this is having a accuracy. Accuracy means it's bilkul correct, it's absolutely correct. Same way all are together, so they are also precise. Same way, now last one you can see that here it is not accurate, but all together they are together, right. So here they are poor accuracy but good precision. Same way, now you can see here all the 3 darts are at 3 different points. So here the accuracy is normally 0 plus the precision will also become 0. Approximation. So what is approximation? We will see the first definition, okay children. Approximation is the process of finding a number which is acceptably of losing the exact value of the measurement of a physical quantity. Suppose, can you tell me how much amount of rice is there in this? No, right. Here when you are doing some approximation, like somewhat you will tell the correct measurement, but it is not the same or the exact measurement. For example, I can tell that yeah, it can be 1 kg, but if you are weighing that, it can be little bit more than 1 kg or little bit less than 1 kg. Same way here you are taking this milk bottle. Now the measurement of milk bottle is fixed. It is 1 liter of milk water, but how much amount I am transferring into a glass, that I am not sure about. So this is known as approximation. You can tell it can be a pav liter or even a half a liter, right? So this is the approximation thing. Now let's come to the final topic in this lesson, children. That is rounding off. So what is rounding off? For example, now I am giving you 7 rupees. Then I will ask you back my 7 rupees, right? But when they are doing a bigger amount of calculation, for example, you have to pay how much money? I'll give you 10,000 rupees and 1 rupee extra. So when I'm coming to you and asking my money back, you will tell me, ma'am, you just take 10,000 rupees. Why you are taking the 1 rupee thing, right? So that is known as rounding off, okay? So there are 3 major steps in rounding off. First, we should know these steps. Decide which is the last digit to keep. For example, there are decimals, right? Now, the decimal is 5.321. Now, this is the value. I want to round it off, okay? Now, first I have to decide which value I need. Do I want the decimal or I want only the main, that is only the 5. So, that first we need to decide. Second is leave it same if the next digit is less than 5. For example, now this value I want only till the first place value. I don't want any decimals. So, this is less than 5, right? So, if I want to do round off, the rounding of this will be only 5. Same way, in another example, if I am taking 6.6523. Now, I want to round off. Now, I will tell you that I need only this decimal. That is, I don't want any decimal. I need only the true place value. Now, first I will fix that this is my position. I want in this position. Next, I want to see what is the digit here. Here digit is 6. Read the last value. Increase it by 1 if the next digit is 5 or greater than 5. Now, 6 is always, you know that it is more than 5, right? So, if I want to do this, then I have to plus 1 into this 6. So, here if you need to find, then it will be 6 plus 1, which will equal to the 7. So, when you want to do round of this, then the value will come as 7, right? Now, let us see a few examples of this. What is this first value is known as the whole number. Then the decimal will come, then the decimal parts will come. Here, what you have to be careful about is the symbol of dot. What is dot? It is the decimal point, right? Now, see here, children. Here you can see that there is 5 at a very height. Now, what is happening is, here if I am taking the value of 34, I wanted to round it off, then the 4 value is less than 5. So, if I want to round off, it will come as 30. Same way 9.40 if I am taking and I am rounding off it till 9, 4 is less than 5. So, it will come as 9. Same way if you are seeing here you can see that first value is 46. 46 I want to round. So, if I want to round it off, 6 value is greater than 5, right? So, if we want to round off, it will come as 50. Same way 9.50 rounding off will come as 10. Why? Because 5 is here the third value. What was the third rule, children? The third rule was we should know that the last digit should be 5 or it should be more than 5, then we can add 1. So, here it is 5. So, we are adding 1 to 9 and it will become 10, right students? So, here the main thing what you have to understand is less than half round off. So, here what is the half? Half is 5. Then half or more than half you should round up, that is you should add 1 to it. Okay children? I hope you have understood whatever we have discussed here. Children, after finishing this lesson, you should go to the description box. In the description box, you can see we have attached study material, question bank and even question paper. So this self-assessment will tell you how much you have understood the lesson. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed the class. Bye bye.